So guys, this is demo of Storm installation. Software requirements: VMware Player 12.0 for Ubuntu image, which is which is what I'm sure you must have downloaded it. Guys, this is important. This is something which is important here. When it comes to hardware, am I talking about RAM and all? No, this is not my concern, guys. This is not my concern. My concern is, you are seeing this processor, right? Intel Core i3 processor or high. Okay, so the reason is it should have VTX enabled, virtualization enabled. So there are flavors of i3 which do not have virtualization enabled. If this is the case, even if you download virtual VMware Player, you would not be able to start your virtual machine. So this is a point to be noted. Okay, now I'm moving to the next one. Now the first thing is, of course, you will say sudo apt-get update, and then you will say sudo apt-get install open 6 JDK. Okay, now this is something which I'm going to do now. I think update is going to take some time. By the time it runs, okay, my bad. Sudo apt-get update. Okay, it will ask for the password. The password here is password. If you are using the, oops, what's my problem? I have said app. Okay, so this is required, of course, for Java to Java is one of the prerequisite. I will run the next command. Then, as you know, all of your things are going to work by Zookeeper, right? Zookeeper is your coordination service. That's why, as the first thing, apart from Java, you need the Zookeeper running. Is that part clear to everybody? Why exactly? So Zookeeper is something which is immediately required after the language. Okay, so let me just see. Okay, it is done. Now I am going to install open6 JDK. Sudo apt-get install open, what's wrong, open 6, what is that, just a sec, open JDK -6 JDK. Okay, open JDK -6 JDK. Okay, yes, just say yes, enter. So just another twister here. I mean, if you are already having Oracle 6 JDK installed, just in case, I don't know if any of you are already working on the virtual machine, right? If you are already having it, that is also fine. That's not a problem. Let it to install. It will take some time. Now, so in the Zookeeper, right? So this is wget command. I think that's completely fine with you, right? Tar is basically to basically it's like zip thing to, so you unzip the files. Similarly, tar.gz files. This is the typical command to extract them. Okay, so this is where I think Rajalakshmi had a problem, right? Right. So this is where we'll just see. At least I'll make sure that I run this much. Okay, and this is something which is important. This is something which is important, guys, because you can. It's very easy for you to do these things, right? Take time is equal to 2000. Data dir is equal to this. Client port is equal to this. What does it mean, right? That is something which is for which only I have opened this, and I'm trying to do the steps with you. Okay, so take time equal to 2000. In the sense, take time is always, it's all that thing in which it refreshes the data dir. The data dir which you are seeing, right? Data dir is equal to /var/do. So typically this, I mean, I'm talking about a proper production node cluster altogether, right? So in the production node, production cluster, in each and every machine you will be creating a data directory. This is what will tell, see, Zookeeper is gonna store its state information at this particular place. Okay, data dir, and it would be refreshed every tick time milliseconds. It would be refreshed every 2000 milliseconds. Every 2 seconds it's gonna be refreshed. Is this clear, guys? This is where the value is. I mean, following the steps is like following a manual. Okay, client port 2181. So it is the port where the where Zookeeper listens to any of the client requests. Okay, this is the default port. You can change it. So whatever port you will give, it will start listening at the same place. So I just wanted you guys, I mean, I was in impression that many of you would be knowing it. Because if you use it in production, this is something which is very important. Many times there are conflict with this port. Okay, so anyway, let me just see. Okay, this is done. Now we are into the next step, and the good thing is I think our other download is also over. Open containing folder, click, click, click. Now, come on, just open. Okay. So many frames, guys. Okay. Now, see, we are done up to this step. Next step was basically to copy paste. Sometimes it's funny. Okay, so it is just downloading that tar of Zookeeper, and now we are going into the configuration of Zookeeper. I will see if it is gonna take a bit longer time. I would take it to the logical conclusion, and then without completing that Storm thing, at least Redis and Node.js, because those steps are not even mentioned in this step. Of course, logically it doesn't make sense to put them together. At least I will try to cover those parts, and then because there are some important targets or milestones which I have kept for this class, which at least we have to cover today. Is it possible to download these software and install? Yes, why not? So you just saw that, right? I said wget. Instead of this, just put that address in your web browser. You will be able to download it. Okay, Sundar. By the way, this Storm, there is a rare version which is available for Windows also. Seems like a good thing, isn't it? Okay, but don't try that. I mean, you can try, no problem, but that's a slightly older version. So Apache and all, you typically know, right? They don't really care about Windows, right? So, but yes, the older version was available for Windows environment, but only thing is most of those APIs have now become deprecated. So you will be able to get a feel of it by developing it, but yes, your code would not, probably you will get a lot of deprecated warnings. Okay. So Venkat says, I went through multi-node cluster documentation. I could see Zookeeper is not installed on slave and installed only on master. From our discussion, Zookeeper must be installed on all the machines in the cluster. Yes, it should be installed on all the clusters, but I have to just check it, Venkat, if there is some small difference there. Okay. So right now, anyway, let's just focus on this part. Okay. Now, oops. I'm going to, and why am I copy pasting? The reason is simple. I don't want any spelling mistakes as I have done just now. Then I would go and I will say cd Zookeeper. Okay, I think this should be the next step. Okay, so you can see that yes, it is there. Now this is where I think Raj Lakshmi was getting the problem in the next step. So let me just say sudo mkdir /var/. By the way, it must be a permission issue. See this, it got created. If you want to see ls/var, see this, it got created. Raj Lakshmi, did you see this? Sudo mkdir /var/u, it got created for me. There is no problem. So you know what? Probably it might be asking for the password. Okay. Probably you might be running it from a different terminal. Okay. Yes. Okay. You might be running it from a different terminal. And for the first time it asks for the sudo password. The password should be all small password. Okay. So anyway, by the way, this is a standard approach. Otherwise, you know what I do? I go to my home folder, create a zoo data directory and create it. In fact, I will show it to you when I'll be going to my actual machine. Okay. So this got created. Sorry, where am I? So see this, it is asking for the password, right? Now you are saying sudo gedit this, and in the gedit you're basically gonna copy paste these commands. So sudo gedit conf/zoo sample. Oops. It means I do not have the, just a second guys. Okay, so I do not have the zoo.config. You might have this problem. So all you have to do is cp conf, just in case if you people are facing, somebody is facing this problem, then zoo sample 2 conf/zoo .cfg. Okay, then sudo gedit. Why am I saying sudo gedit? Just says gedit conf/zoo.cfg. It will just open it. Yeah. Okay. Right now everything is, commented, and I am in no mood of changing it one by one. So what I'm trying to do is, God, this is bad. Sometimes it becomes a bit problematic to work in tick time equal to 2000 milliseconds, data directory and client port. So Rajalakshmi, I hope you are watching it, right? And it is not only for Rajalakshmi, it's for this. The reason is because she faced a problem. So straightforward, we can close your ticket, right? Okay. Anyway, now, okay. Another thing which I would do differently from the manual. Okay, you do it according to the manual, there is no problem. But I would be doing it a bit different from the manual. Is I will say bin slash zk server dot sh start. Enter. What happened? Oops, Okay, since I did it, I understand. I have to do sudo. Sorry guys. Okay, now whether it is started or not, I have to say sudo jps. Enter. See this. Quorum pf name. You should be able to see this process. If you are able to see this process, it means your Zookeeper is up and running. Guys, clear, right, to everybody? This is important. By the way, I was actually, so it is suggested to have your logs and all in /var directory. That's why they have created it in /var/zoo. Nothing stops you in creating it in another place also, a place wherever you like. So what I generally do is I say /home/vishal/zoo local data, and there I just assign everything. At that point of time, I do not have any problem in creating the files in it. Like earlier it stopped me because the permission was denied. So I had to start it as a sudo. Okay. Next. So after this, basically sudo apt get install get this, that's fine. Okay. Just let me see if there is any potential bomb hidden here. Let me just see. Otherwise, I would not like to spend more time on it. 0 configure. This is fine. This is fine. So guys, this is 0ZZMQ. If you are wondering what is ZZMQ, this is a 0MQ. Okay. Storm uses it internally. Okay, it uses it internally. That's it. Nothing more about it. In fact, in the coming versions, they are going to eliminate this thing because it would come pre-shipped. You do not need to install it separately. Okay. See, the reason why am I going through this document is, yes, this storm.yaml. Okay. Storm.yaml is the thing which is important here. Okay. Now, okay, got it. So I think it was Venkat or somebody who asked me the question that Zookeeper was installed only in one machine in the multi-node thing, right? Venkat, you are asking me the question, right? So probably the answer would lie in basically in the storm.yaml. There, storm.zookeeper.server would be giving you the IP of the same machine. Whereas if you do this, right, if you say localhost, then Zookeeper is required to be installed on each and every machine. Otherwise, you can have it only on one machine, and this IP, right, whatever localhost you are writing, can be the IP of the machine wherever, whatever chosen machines you have for the Zookeeper installation. Okay, Venkat, got it right? Yeah. See, this is why it helps. So this is why I'm going through it, because I know that there might be some potential bombs here and there. That's all. Okay, so storm.zookeeper.servers, basically it tells where exactly your server is running. You are just mentioning it as localhost. You can just see that your Zookeeper was running there itself. Storm.zookeeper.port, again 2181, right? Again, if you can see that it is basically two places. So Zookeeper should be installed on all worker nodes, right? Should ideally be installed, yes, but it is not mandatory. You can have it installed in, let's say 5 different machines altogether, and then you can provide the IP of any of those machines. No specific advantage. No specific advantage, Venkat. Just that laziness, pure laziness. I typically suggest to have it on every machine. Okay. Page number 9. Yeah, Arpan, just a second, please. Let me just first complete at least this. This is important thing, right? Because configuration is one. Why a particular configuration is also important. I will come to that. Okay. Now, so this was one Nimbus host. Okay, so this, see this, Nimbus.host is localhost. In actual production environment, this would be the machine address which wherever you would be starting your Nimbus process. Okay, so this is important. And if Zookeeper is not local to worker, then how the state is maintained? See, if Zookeeper, that's exactly the thing. That's why I always suggest to have it local. But if it is not local, then whatever is the Zookeeper host you would have mentioned, right? Zookeeper server you would have mentioned, it would save the state in that particular machine. Okay, so the remaining things are okay. UI port, this is important. UI port is, so Storm provides its own UI itself, Storm UI, and the port on which this machine runs, okay, sorry, this process runs is 8772. Okay, then supervisor slot ports, basically these are the different ports on which supervisor can run. That's all. Okay, after this it is all about starting the processes. Starting the processes are something which I will take directly in the machine itself. Okay, starting the processes is something. What is the UI here? You will very soon see this, Sundar. Okay, so exactly this is the thing. I don't want to waste the time in, you know, unnecessarily configuring it. These are, whereas these are just the commands. The only reason of taking it up is you should not be, you know, missing those important points within the installation. Okay.